September 3rd, Sunday night, 2017. Here is a Great Northern Switcher number 181 from 1942. This 1,000 horsepower EMD diesel switcher, a shunter, model NW3, was one of 7 ordered by the Great Northern Railway. The sole original purchaser, which were built over November 1939 through March of 1942. It consisted of an NW2 hood, a 2-stroke V12 EMD 567 prime mover, and main generator on a long frame with road trucks. The extra length was used for a large cab and an additional full-width hood section, which contained a steam generator for passenger service. The boiler's exhaust was in front of the center of the cab, between the front windows and exiting at the middle of the roof front. The locomotives were delivered in GN's black diesel paint scheme at the time, but were later repainted in the bright orange and green Empire Builder scheme. The short exhaust stacks as delivered were at some point replaced by standard EMD switcher stacks. The first 4 units were traded in by the GN to EMD for new locomotives in 1965. The remaining 3 were sold to other railroads. Number 179 was sold to Staley Company of Mooresville, Pennsylvania, keeping the same number. I'm not going to tell you the other 2. This one obviously is now on display on BNSF line at Whitefish, Montana in the original colors, and I will walk you around the locomotive that you may see all of it. Really tough squeeze here in the back. There's a BNSF van right back here. And as a bonus, that same BNSF engine that we shot with the Bruck on the Bruck video that was pulling in is now pulling out. Main track at Whitefish, Montana. I love it when a plan comes together. Heading west towards Sandpoint, Idaho, called the Funnel, onwards to Spokane. Here I'll walk down the line, and you literally are right next to the train. And as you can see, just for reference point, there is the switcher that we just walked around. Tracks are right here. And not too far is the historical Whitefish Depot. The Hill family, James J. and Louis, were fans of Europe, and you can tell by the architectural detail at the Whitefish Depot. This building absolutely screams Europe. The Great Northern marketed Glacier National Park as America's Europe, and they were highly successful in what they did. Later, when you see videos of the Isaac Walton Inn in Essex, Montana, where we're staying, you'll also see that that is a European style depot as this. Beautifully done. Beautifully done. Now we'll return to our train. I'm about 10 feet from the train. This is a real action shot. Originally, when the Great Northern's main line was planned, the main line was to go from Columbia Falls to Kalispell, Montana, where it stayed for about 10 years. It went from Kalispell through Haskell Pass, where the grades turned out to be far too steep and the curves way too tight. So the planning continued, and eventually Mr. Hill, James J. Hill, had the main line relocated through Whitefish in 1903 and 1904, where it continued west from there, which a much better line for the train, keeping his operating expenses down. And to complete this video, what I'm going to do is I will finish walking around the Whitefish depot since you saw the back of it. My maximum running time is 10 minutes, so this may be cutting off. But since you've seen 50% of the depot, I'm just going to see if I can do this. Of course, they have the old-time railway, historical railway wagons. The depot houses the Stumptown Historical Society. Whitefish is called Stumptown because there were a tremendous amount of trees in the area, and when the area was being cleared for the town, there were many of the stumps left in the streets, and driving wagons